Still in the Lego style.
Repaint specific characters and so on. It's a niche. It's a niche.
Yes.
Go,
go, go.
All good? Excellent. Hello everyone. No, we can start now. So hi everyone, my name is Katie Goldsbrough and I am a ranger for Essex Wildlife Trust, and I look after a beautiful nature reserve in Colchester called Abberton Reservoir, which you may have visited before. And my job is really varied, but one of the aspects of my job is tree planting. So I'm here to talk to you today about a current issue in modern day tree planting, which is plastic tree guards. So a brief overview of plastic tree guards. They were first created in the 1980s, and they were created to protect trees against browsing from animals and bad weather. And they were created out of plastic because plastic is really durable and it lasts a long time and it does the job of protecting the tree well. But now research about plastics in the environment has highlighted the issues that plastics have in both the marine and the terrestrial environment. And this leads to the question of, are plastic tree guards contributing to plastic pollution? So now we're in a tree planting boom, with millions of trees pledged to be planted across the whole of the UK to tackle climate change. And trees are traditionally planted with plastic tree guards, using a stake and a cane to put the tree and the tree guard into the ground. So if you have a look whilst you're out driving, you are most likely to see plastic tree guards along the side of the road in hedges or plantations. You can't miss them. They are everywhere. But unfortunately, it is rare that there is a plan put in place to retrieve these back from the environment. And so this is where the main issue lies. So plastic tree guards can have environmental consequences throughout the whole of their stages on the tree. So from when they're whole on the tree, animals and creatures can get caught in them, and then as they degrade down, microplastics go into the soil and then cause issues from then on. So the carbon footprint of plastic tree guards themselves is an issue, and it's a sustainability issue through manufacturing them as a product, and then we're putting them back out into the environment, which is ironic because we are tree planting to try and tackle climate change, but we are also contributing to another issue whilst doing so. So this is a brief overview of what plastic tree guards are, and how do we tackle this problem. So there are many plastic tree guard, plastic-free alternatives, coming onto the market now. So made out of things such as craftboard and cardboard, and even tree guards made from wool. So this is made by a company called NextGen, which have created tree guards made out of sheep's wool that are designed to last up to 5 years and then naturally degrade into the environment. There is also the other option of using no tree guards at all. And this obviously depends on the browsing that you have in your local area, so rabbits and deer coming along and eating your trees. And there's also been a new scientific paper released, which is talking about the carbon storage of, this carbon storage of trees, and how actually planting 2 trees to every 1 tree can maximise the potential carbon storage and also mitigate the losses that you will get from browsing animals. And this is also cheaper because you're not spending money on buying in tree guards, and the labour is less because you're not spending time having to put a plastic tree guard on the tree as well, and it will be less to put 2 trees into the ground. But there is another issue out there of tackling the plastic tree guards that we already have out in our environment. And as we now know their impact, we can do something about it. So at Abberton, where I work, I have enrolled us in a recycling trial for all the plastic tree guards that we have across our nature reserve and the wider reservoir on surrounding water company land. And this scheme has been kindly funded by our partners Essex and Suffolk Water. And so far, over 3,000 plastic tree guards have been collected into specialised bags, and they will be recycled at the end of September. And then we'll get another load in, and we'll hopefully be able to tackle the over 100,000 plastic tree guards that we have on site. So this is just the beginning of the journey for changing the way that we plant trees across the UK, but we are definitely heading in the right direction. And if you would like to get involved with any tree planting or plastic tree guard removal in Colchester and local areas, please get in touch with us at Essex Wildlife Trust, and we will be happy to have you along. And if you'd like to follow my personal research as well on plastic tree guards, you can follow me at Ranger Katie on social media and my website as well. I'd like to thank you all for your time for coming today, and I hope you really enjoy the rest of your day at the festival.
Time for one question, anyone? I have one question.
Yeah?
Is it our deer that is the main problem with trees? Young trees?
Browsing.
Is it the deer that are causing the problem, the major problem with the trees, or is it? I understand that they destroy a lot of trees.
Yeah, they browse on the same as rabbits.
Yeah.
But there is other ways that you can prevent. If you do have an area of high browsing, you can fence off your plantation.
Yeah.
But again, if you're planting more, you're mitigating for the losses, because rabbits and deer won't go around, they won't eat every single tree, they'll just nibble bits off of each one. And it doesn't necessarily kill the tree, it can just stunt the growth of it. But then that, actually in woodland generation, that's quite good because you get the diversity within the tree structures and the height. So there is negatives to browsing in the sense of you'll lose some, but actually the ecological benefits are quite good.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah, go for
Sorry.
it.
Has anyone or any projects looked at maybe only like guarding 50% of the trees or a percentage of the trees within the plantation to see if that would, I guess like you'd have to measure it over time. But
We'll have to scientifically sort of see the...
yeah, like if we only use like 50% of the tree guards we actually need, we're saving this amount of plastic, and
Yeah.
like you said, if the deer don't go around and nibble everything, but then I guess is that an option, or is it, do people feel like to get the maximum benefit they want to put tree guards on absolutely every single tree that they plant?
Yeah, it's largely a lot of landowners and farmers who want, because they want to get the maximum amount of the, not just the money that they've spent on tree planting, but the labour as well, because it's quite like labour intensive planting that many trees. But I know for some of our sites, we're sort of trialling areas that we know are high browsing, doing some of them with plastic-free tree guards, and then some of them with no tree guards, or just to sort of see what the losses are. It's going to be trial and error.
Trial and error.
But I think going plastic-free is definitely heading down the right direction, and I know it could be, regeneration could be quite a topic to us, a whole other speech in itself. But yeah, trees can, they're pretty good at, getting established and things
Right,
on their own.
yeah.
And all these processes, really help that. So we do need to take the sort of approach, I think, to be more sustainable with it.
Not so full on with tree guards. The trees, otherwise we'd have no trees anyway in the first place if they all got eaten.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for the slow time.
That's all right, no worries, thank you very much.